much as you'd like to remind people verbally that being in the spotlight doesn't absolve you of your humanity, that you're allowed to have human moments.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily do what you want it to do, and it fuels them more.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Right. Every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats! Someone save me, but not a prince!
I'm gonna be honest, guys, like I'm a very mentally ill piece of human right now, and so it's very hard for me to want to share that with the world.
Fans of Snow White are mad at Rachel Zegler because she doesn't seem to have learned from last year's mistakes. They want her to be taken out of the show. Rachel is now begging with Disney to keep her safe, but after her most recent comment, Disney may no longer care about Rachel at all. Fans can't stand Rachel Zegler's behavior since she was cast as Snow White. They don't like how she acts in this more adult version of the famous story. Rachel has been having a lot of problems with
Save for the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
people in the business since she showed her true colors in interviews. It looks like this is making it hard for her to get new jobs. Rachel's biggest problem right now is that she was fired from all of the projects she had planned, like Paddington 3 and her voice acting part in Apple TV's Spellbound. This means that Rachel might not be seen again after Snow White. This is because of how she acts and how often she plays the victim card. Rachel's disrespect for the original Snow White in interviews and other public events has gone too far. Fans think she shouldn't be playing this part if she can't understand and respect the original character. Based on her many opinions, it seems like Rachel doesn't even want to understand the original Snow White. Concerns about these problems and the fact that fans did not like Disney's artistic direction for the Seven Dwarfs meant that they had to start over, which meant that the movie had to be put off for a whole year. Disney hasn't had an easier time because hell does the worst marketing for a lead actress I've ever seen. Fans are now asking for Rachel to be taken off the project because of the controversy surrounding the movie's new woke themes that try to appeal to modern audiences. It's only grown as time goes since people have proven over and over again that this is not what they want. Nay is not only ignoring the calls from fans of the original story who would love to see it turned into a live-action movie, but they are also ignoring all the bad things said about Rachel Zegler. Hell has slightly changed her approach in these past few months as she's been less loud about her views, perhaps in an attempt to save face and to try and get back into the industry's good books. However, because she's Rachel Zegler, she just can't help herself from commenting on things that don't touch her. While Rachel hasn't said anything about Snow White this time around, she did come for another Disney project after reading a tweet regarding Star Wars. The initial tweet talked about a possible what-if series for Star Wars similar to Marvel's current one, which Rachel couldn't help but comment on as she quoted it saying, "What if somehow Palpatine returned?" Now, if you're a Star Wars fan, you would know that that is indeed something that happened in the new movies.
They're probably just having a really hard day.
Yes.
And I am putting out a movie.
Amen. That's right.
And I feel so thankful for those moments.
Which was treated badly by fans. Star Wars fans were actually very mad to see Palpa return as they felt like it made no sense and added nothing to the story as it only served to add drama and nostalgia to the series. Many people actually feel like this completely destroyed Star Wars legacy as it felt like such a big spit in the face to the original movies, and many people agreed with Rachel's very shady remark regarding the choice. This is still one of the most unexpected moves I've ever seen. Did you just post something based? And with that the show was cancelled. However, many also saw this comment to be incredibly hypocritical coming from Rachel as she tried to come for Disney when they did the exact same thing they're trying to do with Snow White. Disney making A bad choice which in turn seems disrespectful to the original.
Scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again.
Work is the exact same thing that fans of Snow White have been complaining about for months, and the same thing that Rachel has been trying to defend. It's safe to say fans weren't happy with Rachel because of this comment, and many were open about how hypocritical it was of her to come for Disney when she's doing the exact same thing. What if you weren't cast as Snow White and we actually had a Snow White everyone loved? What if somehow you turn into a good person? What if Snow White 2025 was a love story with actual dwarves? What if you stop ruining franchises you didn't create and are not a fan of? What if you only made movies based on characters you do care about? Fans obviously had a lot on their chests seeing Rachel's comment, and some people even pointed out Disney's horrible decisions by commenting, what if Snow White 2025 casting was right with a picture of Brett Cooper's upcoming Snow White? Fans are extremely set on replacing Rachel in the movie, and it looks like if that can't happen, they will simply get.
Never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
There's Snow White fix from somewhere else, which is why the Daily Wire's new Snow White movie starring Brett Cooper might just end up overshadowing Disney's. As Brett herself has mentioned, this movie isn't trying to be political in any way and will be true to the original story in order to honor not only the very first edition of the story written by the Bro Brothersism, but also Walt Disney's first ever Disney princess movie, It Made Hisha Story. Dee has also been one of the people to really come for Rachel's attitude in the past. It looks like she is truly doing the most as she decided to take things into her own hands. Chell is now cornered both on the internet and in the business. Nobody seems to be on her side, which is why she's broken down about the turn things have taken. Chell has been open about the way she feels several times. Now, everything seems to be going badly for her at the moment. In fact, she's even resorted to publicly talking about how affected she is in order to get Disney's attention and to beg them to do something about the situation. Even her talk with Holly Bailey, who experienced a similar situation after being cast as Ariel, got to hear how Rachel has been trying to ignore the Hathay mocking the situation. And it doesn't look like Disney has been doing anything to better her place even after two of their actresses sat and had a talk about it in it. In fact, Rachel has decided to come to Disney with her Star Wars comment. Actually, it's pretty unlikely Disney would even want to protect her, rather has not only been disrespectful to fans and to the original Snow White story, which she doesn't seem to care about, but she has also directly insulted her workplace and those who have given her a chance in the industry. It's not looking good for her, and it's getting more and more to the point where Disney might actually have to replace her in the Snow White role, as her growing controversy might just end up costing them the entire movie. And if the Snow White movie ends up tanking at the box office after everything Disney did to try and save it, then Rachel might seriously end up never getting another role, as nobody would want to be associated with her. After the relative success of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, it was starting to look up for Rachel, especially since she has even gotten some nominations for the role. However, those nominations and that success will end up meaning absolutely nothing if she doesn't sort out her personality first. Fans have been dreading every single interview regarding Snow White ever since Rachel admitted that she was afraid of the movie growing up. Admitting was never even a fan of the original work is enough for fans to refuse to support Rachel in the role. Esperol lie, since so many other talented actresses who genuinely love Snow White have been cast. But her constantly bashing Snow White and Disney and constantly playing the victim card, third card, really nothing redeemable left. I just end up with this new year might bring us a new Snow White. has had plenty of opportunities to stand up for Rachel over the last half year and year. Silence speaks volumes since Rachel has been growing more